Hey guys, I went to harvest my seeds from my lemon basil, took a clipping of it, and noticed that there's these tiny little bugs in my lemon basil, so I'm going to trash my system and restart it, but I'll zoom in here so you can see what they look like. There you go, there's one there. They're really small.
Salutations, that's Sam Pig.
There he goes. I have no idea what that is, but I'm not about to eat that. Alright, I'm going to say goodbye to my critters, and I planted some new plants. I planted these 4 days ago, and these things really germinate fast. This is sweet basil, new sage, and all the rest of these 9 are lemon basil. So I'm going to have new plants going up pretty fast. I'm going to put these under CFLs, and should have huge plants in about 30 days. Okay, here are my tiny Tims that I cloned, and I was worried that since I cloned them from a mother plant that had already gone through its flowering and fruiting stage, that these plants might not flower or fruit either, but I found out that's not the case because I have flowers, and you can see on some of these they're getting lots and lots of flowers. So these plants are like brand new tiny Tims, and they're doing great, and I guess I'll move them outside later on and put them up in the windowsill here in a couple days. And right now they're under a T5, so they're really loving that. Okay, here's an update on my unknown variety that I grew. I have a few ripe ones right now. They're really red. They're probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches across, and I'm gonna pick one. Oh, actually pick 2. Cut one open, and maybe I can figure out what kind of tomato it is by the way the insides look. So, yeah, they look really nice. Here's another ripe one of that variety, and there's a whole cluster of green ones of that variety, and down here is the one that grew 2 tomatoes out of 1 flower, and I called that one Bertha, which I thought was a proper name for that one. And as for the Mexico midgets, they're at their last weekend, I think. What's funny is they actually grew up into the reflector and kind of burned their way around the light bulb. This thing is just overloaded with vegetation. So I'm not going to be growing indeterminate plants in here anymore because I just need the space to do work. So this is the last weekend for them. I'm heading up to Wisconsin next weekend to do some rototilling. So goodbye, Mexico midgets. Actually, I cloned a few, so I'm going to have some outside this year. So it's not the end. Okay, I just stepped outside to cut my mystery tomato into slices so you can see what it looks like inside. Maybe you guys can identify it. It's a nice warm 35-degree day. The sun is shining, and maybe you guys can figure out what this is by the way the insides look. There's one cross section, and I cut another this way, but I don't know, maybe it'll remain a mystery. Okay, an update on my Aerogarden. Here you can see I raised the light level 1 notch because my Tiny Tim clone has surpassed the microtoms, and over here you can look at this microtom. Has a few ripe tomatoes, and they're pretty small, but they're really red. And over here, in between the mess, is a bonsai tree that has started to sprout. And over here is another microtom. No ripe tomatoes, but it's doing really good. Lots of flowers. And that's my clone right there in the middle. And I'll show you the root system in a second. Alright, looking at the root system inside the Aerogarden, you can see everything's nice and white and clean. No root rot, and right there is my clone, which has gone crazy, and you can see all the roots coming off of it and going down into the reservoir. This guy here was an inch big when we got him. My son won him at a fun fair. He's about 1.5 years old, and he's grown quite a bit. But wouldn't that be cool for aquaponics? Until next time, talk to you later.